guys, I would still buy this guitar if I won the lottery. The PRS SE DGT, David Grissom, look him up, guy rips, tremolo. And I guess they modeled this guitar after his core model. So you got the cores, you got the SEs. Now the core models are like $4,000 more. This thing right now, I would have died for a guitar like this when I started. They just didn't make them like this. Is like under 750 bucks. Check out my Sweetwater link, all right? And I will say this, I own the PRS SE McCarty 594. That guitar is amazing too. So what I really want to do here is just kind of give you a player's perspective. There's all kinds of demos on this guitar. That's great, but it's not going to really do you any good because you're not playing through my signal chain. You just need to know kind of the vibe of this thing and whether it's worth it. I would say 100% it's worth it because I don't know how you are. Drop in the comments. When I get a new guitar, I have this little bit of fear. I'm either A, going to hate it, or B, I'm going to like it so much I'm going to start to dislike my other guitars. But just so you know, there is a Les Paul Studio Special, that's got P90s, love it. There's the McCarty 594, love it. And then there is I just got this Les Paul Studio a couple weeks, well, maybe a month ago. That thing's amazing too. And every single one of these guitars I love. I've been picking this one up a lot. Okay, so let's just kind of go over some of the quick specs. We'll go through some little playing parts and drop me questions, drop comments. Tell me too, have you played the chords and the SEs? Because what I did do is I have a local music store that has the SEs and the chords, and I kind of wanted to see, and here's what I discovered. Tell me if you've done this and what you think. And there's a lot of stuff you can read. But when you pay for a higher end guitar, we're talking like 4,000 something, 4,000 plus to like 750 bucks. You're gonna get more premium stuff. Like the fretboard edges felt more rolled in the core. The pickups were a little bit different. They're the DGTs. These are the S or DGTS, which just means it's the overseas Indonesian factory. And we'll get into that in just a minute. So it wasn't better. The core wasn't like better, but it was just different. Maybe like a little more depth like on certain low end stuff. But again, when you watch these reviews on YouTube, you're not playing through anybody's signal chain. You're not using their pedals. You're not using their amp. This is more just like you need to know the core features of this guitar. And I'm going to tell you, this thing is so good. And I've used it in a band playing situation where I played a whole set. We're doing kind of like 90s alternative stuff. And I've played it here in my room, my music room, multiple times. So it's a workhorse guitar. If you don't like, and I know, listen, I've worked really hard in my life to get guitars like this, but if you could only have one guitar, this would be it. And here's why. Let's go over, the pickups real quick. So these are the DGT-S. I think it's the DGT in the standard core model. But when you tap these, which means you lower the output, every position is usable. Now you guys know, I've had guitars and I have guitars where you can tap it, which means lower the output. Sometimes it's a split, but the sounds are not usable. They just sound terrible. So that's why this guitar, and I'll kind of show you in a minute, and it probably won't translate that great here, but you'll get the idea. You can tap these and it just lowers the output, thins out the sound in a good way, but you could use every position. Usually in the bridge when you tap, that's the worst sound in my experience of doing studio sessions and playing a lot of guitars. This guitar, every position is just amazing. Now, let's get to the most important part of any guitar is the neck. The neck on this thing is unbelievable. Fretwork was impeccable right out of the box. I had my guys at Sweetwater set it up. Now, normally I don't buy guitars that I don't put my hands on, but my guy at Sweetwater, I've worked with him for 15 years and I trust him. If he goes and feels the guitar, he's got me a good one. And he hasn't set me wrong yet. Thank you, Dennis. So the neck on this thing is like a C shape. Okay, C shape, and it's slightly thicker than say my Strat, which is a traditional C shape. And those have Strats, remember, like the standard 9.5-inch radius. This is a 10-inch radius. Feels really good. Frets are unbelievable. There's no scratchiness to them. So like you guys, the level of detail you're already getting for this to me blows my mind. Like, I've got a Mexi. It's off camera. Let's see. Here it is right here. I got the Mexi, that guitar, the Isbell Telly, and I had to do a little fretwork to that. So, and that guitar was like twice the price or 3 times the price. No, twice the price. But this guy too, mahogany body, a maple cap. It's got mahogany neck. It's got a rosewood fretboard. The McCarty's got the bird inlays. This one has the beautiful moon inlays, all right? The tremolo's super usable on this thing. Let's see. Now, I wouldn't suggest doing any dive bombs or anything on it, but it's incredibly just a beautiful guitar. Now, one unique thing to this guitar I will point out is I love the toggle switch being down here. It's obviously a three-way. You got the bridge right here pointed all the way down. Got both. You got the neck in this position. Now, one thing I know David loved is he loves to use his volume a lot. He said he plays in the bridge position a lot, so it makes sense to me. You got the volume for the bridge right here, closest to the front of the guitar. So you can kind of just roll it off really easy. See that? Now, let's kind of go through some of the sounds. Again, the whole goal for me to do this for you guys in this video is just to give you like the finer points of this guitar and just let you know you will not dislike this guitar. You just won't. You can play any style on it. It's amazing, okay? And it does have more of the vintagey sound on the pickups. I've had some experience with vintage guitars. I don't own any vintage electrics myself, but I have friends that do, and I've played them a lot, and I like the output on these guys, all right? So I'm just playing through a Rev D20 head, like a 112 Mojo Tone cab. It's got the Greyhound speaker, my pedal board. I have the plumes on just to give it a little bit of, I kind of use it more of an EQ. But let's just do this. And I have a slight reverb on, and I know some people are like, why do you got reverb on there? But I'm not drowning in reverb. We're all gonna play with the touch. So let's just do like a C bar chord. Okay, so that's in the bridge position, right? We'll kind of go to the middle. Gets a little bit more of that almost tunnely sound. And then when you go to the neck, let's see here. Okay. Now if we did like a little lick, let's see here. Let's do some arpeggiated stuff. So let's go back down to the bridge. Okay, it's middle. Beautiful sound, really clean. Okay, and then all the way to the neck. So here's the thing too, I always set I've got like more of a pedal platform amp, I've got it like set on the edge of breakup. So if you wanna, pick lighter, this thing cleans up real nice. I will say too, the taper on the EQ is real smooth too. See, there's full bass. If you see if I'm kind of rolling through it, I'm on the next position. So real clean on the taper. Tremolo feels amazing. Okay, so this would be kind of like your semi-clean tone. Again, if you dig. So your picking dynamics are really responsive on the guitar, and that's something I really look for. So the pickups, even though they're not the core model pickups, they're fantastic. I won't change those. The only thing I might change on this is maybe like the input jack, but we'll see how that holds up over time. I haven't even opened it up. There's videos on that. You guys know all the players on YouTube that does that kind of thing. Let's go to some of the tapped positions. So here's what I'm talking about. So I'll just stay on this kind of clean tone. This is the bridge with it tapped, okay? So same thing. Let's just do like a C bar chord. So here it is again, just kind of for reference. So here's all the way down, not tapped. Okay, got some grit to it. But here it is tapped. So it still gives a little bit of bite based on your picking dynamic, but it doesn't go into that shrill territory. That's what I was saying. I'm in the bridge position, and usually on guitars, when you tap them in the bridge, in my mind, they usually sound pretty awful, but this one sounds great. So now let's kind of go to the tapped middle position, both of them. That right there has a killer tone. And again, I know this is not translating super well for you guys. It just has... So I'm saying if you wanted the more like towards single coil territory, but not shrill, this just... tapped position on the neck. And then back down, let's just go back down, not tapped on the neck. All right, so those are kind of all your clean tones. Now, I'm sure someone on here's gonna be like, well, you didn't play any dirty tones, so let's do that. You know what, let's turn the reverb off. Let's just do some like chuggy stuff. So I'm going to turn on my little rev tilt overdrive pedal. So let's just kind of do some stuff in the bridge, okay? Sounds really good. It's got this really tight, so I'm obviously muting it. It's got this really tight vibe to it with not being shrill. Still sounds really good. Oh, of course I'm unplugging the guitar there. Hold on. And I'm probably blowing up the camera. Here's the middle one. And then the neck. Let's do some like... Guys, this guitar is just amazing. I mean, again, I can sit here and run through all the tones with you, but you're not gonna really know until you run it through your signal chain. So I just wanna give you the finer points of the guitar. You cannot lose with this guitar. I don't really know what would make you dislike it. Maybe if like you're a metal player and you're trying to use it for ripping metal stuff, but you could still put your signal chain together and make that work. You know, just one more funsy one. Check this out. This is a good old Boss OC3 overdrive. I mean octave pedal OC2. Just to kind of show you, this is like, we'll do tapped. I'll just do the bridge position just to kind of close this up. And again, drop me any comments, questions. Let me know your experience with Cores, SEs, and I'm like, oh, do I get a Silver Sky SE? I'm a Core. I don't know. The SEs are so good. So. Again, this guitar just inspires you to play. You guys know the better you sound, the better you're gonna play. Even in... Oh, we gotta throw a little DD3 on there, and then we'll close this up. See, I forgot I'm making a video. I'm having so much fun playing this. Forgot. Finger style, if you want to play anything finger style, it rips on this guitar too. Of course, we should turn the octave pedal off. So watch this, little jazzy stuff. Want to roll it back? We'll go neck position. Played myself out here. You guys, just get one of these, okay? If you have any questions, you want to know anything about it, let me know. I know some of you don't have them near you in music stores, but I'm going to put my money where my mouth is that if you bought this, you're not going to be disappointed, okay? You'll find some use for it. It's just, it inspires you to play, it inspires you to get better. And at the end of the day, as musicians, what else do we want? All right, so here's a link to the McCarty 594 video. Here's a link to a playlist I did on triads so you can play all that fun stuff on the guitar. Drop Jellyfish, your favorite sea creature, in the comments, and definitely drop as many comments as you can. I want to know, what SCs have you played? What guitars are you digging on? I'll do the studio coming up. I'm going to just go through all my guitars and kind of tell you why, but the more guitars, the better. But if you can only get one, it's cool. I would just get this and call it a day, man. I'm gonna tell my mom. She's looking for an electric. She needs to get one of these or something. All right, I said enough. Keep going. Peace.